Alright guys, so this is video number 2. This video is on topic sentences and main ideas. We're going to talk a little bit about thesis statements again, just because that kind of goes with this territory, but most of this video will be about choosing main ideas, wording those main ideas, and then how to incorporate them into our topic sentences, mostly so that our topic sentences are clear and that they do not get repetitive, because we don't want to write a boring, repetitive essay. So the first thing we have to do is look at our article. And here we have an article by Habitat for Humanity. I kind of considered this article broken down. It had 4 little sub-articles. And so we're going to look at each of those as if they're its own article. So the tagline up at the top, which you can always quote things like this. If this article was in FSA, you can absolutely use this beginning information for source information or information for you, anything that you need. It says, helping families have a decent place to call home takes every one of us. Children understand this. Hear from some kids who are setting up lemonade stands, giving away their birthday money, emptying their piggy banks, and finding other ways to contribute so other kids can have good homes too. Now, in this very unique case, because I'm only using the one article, they pretty much gave me some really good main ideas. And that might happen at the beginning of an article that you're reading, even if it's a text set like the Courage and Heroism set that had a bunch of different ways to show courage. From Rosa Parks to the Monuments Men, you could have shown that aspect in many ways. And many of you for that Courage and Heroism essay talked in one case about Rosa Parks, in one case about the Monuments Men, and then maybe the recipients of the International Women of Courage Awards, different things like that. So you can take your 3 main ideas from your 3 or 4 different articles. You can take 2 ideas from one article and 1 from another. There are a ton of different ways that you can choose your main ideas. The only thing that you do not want to do is get all of your main ideas from one article. I know in this case we are really using just one website, but we're going to consider each of the 4 stories different articles so that you can see that I'm not writing the whole essay about the kids' lemonade stand or the whole essay about the kids' birthday money. And so we're going to do the 3 main ideas based off of the 3 out of the 4 different articles. The first one was about Jay-Z and how he asked his friends for charitable donations instead of birthday presents. And it goes on to talk about why he did that, and after he learned that his hero, a Clemson University quarterback, grew up in a Habitat house. And a Habitat house is a house that was built by Habitat for Humanity, who builds houses for people in the community who need them. The second article was about Delilah and how she gathered quarters all summer. And I did not choose this. If you watched video number 1, you'll know I did not choose this article for one of my main ideas, and pretty much just because it was too short. So I had 4 articles, I needed 3 main ideas, and I couldn't really find anything unique about this little section enough to give me a solid main idea with something to write about. However, Sarah Johnson had a great little article about how she built a butterfly box for a family who was moving into a Habitat home. And she wanted to be able to make sure, it says down here, how did Sarah feel to learn that there are other kids who don't have a good house to live in? And she was pretty surprised, and I felt happy to have a house. And if you watched video number 1, this is kind of where I was inspired to write my anecdote from, is from this. So after reading the articles, that helped me come up with an anecdote idea. And then the last one of Wyatt and Owen Hansen, and they made and sold lemonade to then donate to charity. It was enough to cover a front door and some windows on a Habitat home, And a lot of cool things like that, like the Habitat for Humanity will let you know like how much this is worth, or like what your donation can do. And he wanted to make other kids feel happy by giving, which is something that I think I can definitely elaborate on in my commentary, or even in a second piece of source info. So when you have a text set or a set of articles such as these that are broken apart into different sections, whether they be on a similar topic or different topics, for example, the Courage and Heroism text set was completely different people, from Rosa Parks to the Monuments Men, but both of those people had something in common, or groups of people, and it was that they were courageous. Whereas our chocolate milk essays, every single article was about chocolate milk, similar to how every single one of these articles are about ways that kids gave back to the community. So you never really know what kind of text set you're going to get from FSA, whether it's more diverse like the Courage and Heroism text set, or more similar like this or the chocolate milk text set. So consider this a text set with each of these 4 articles within it based off this one topic. So in case you did not watch the first video on interests and conclusions, what we have up here is a prompt that says write an essay explaining the ways in which kids can give back to their communities. Now, we came up with 3 main ideas. The first coming from the first article of donations instead of birthday gifts. And hopefully you read this. If you didn't, pause the video now and go ahead and read all of these articles that we're going to be talking about so you are with us. And essentially, he, instead of getting presents for his birthday, that the giving to charity teaches compassion for those not as fortunate, and an understanding that everyone can make a difference, even kids. And so that is the first main idea that I pulled out. And it's a very straightforward idea. It wasn't anything super abstract or super complicated. It was pretty easy to pull that main idea from that article. In the same way that it was pretty easy, or should have been pretty easy, to figure out how Rosa Parks was showing courage. She was showing courage because she didn't give up her seat because she didn't believe that that was the right thing to do. That you had to infer just a little bit more that her not giving up the seat wasn't the right thing to do. So a lot of the times when you find main ideas, you have to use those inferencing skills where you're not making a guess. It's an inference and a guess are different. An inference is something that you think based off of evidence that you have. So we didn't just guess that she was courageous because she was the oldest sibling or something like that. We're not just guessing that she's courageous because she wants to go skydiving. We know she's courageous because we have this evidence to support it. We're not making guesses, and that happens a lot in our commentary. And when I do the commentary video, I'll talk about how to not make a guess and when inferring too far goes into guessing. But you might have to infer a little bit for your main ideas. Main idea 2, we did building a butterfly house, which is what the third article was about. And then main idea 3, making and selling lemonade to donate funds. So again, our main ideas have to come from our text sets. You might have to infer to withdraw good, solid main ideas. And if this is my plan sheet with my thesis, my 3 main ideas, then this exact wording is almost like a rough draft. I don't have to say it like that. For example, down here is my thesis statement. Okay, and I even have it up here too. This is just it in the body paragraph. So in this thesis statement, let's look at this one. It says ways in which kids can give back to their communities are by collecting donations. Now up here I said donations instead of birthday gifts. So what I can do is my main ideas in my thesis, short, sweet, and to the point, are always better. If I can condense them so they still make sense, I haven't lost the concept because the main concept behind this was getting donations. I just don't elaborate yet on how we got donations, which is getting donations instead of birthday gifts. So the main ideas in the thesis, keeping them short, sweet, and to the point is really going to make that thesis statement much, much stronger. It's going to make it more cohesive. It's going to make it sound better. I said building a butterfly house, whereas here I just said building homes. And I like that because in my body paragraph, when they get to that part, when the reader gets to that part, they're like, oh, this little girl's not building a home. She's building a butterfly home to give to someone who got a new home. I really like that concept because it makes it almost like I said she was building homes, which she is, but it makes it a little surprising when she gets to that, when the reader gets to that paragraph to learn the details of that situation, of that main idea. And then making and selling lemonade to then donate. And I just said making lemonade to keep it simple. Okay. So that's kind of how I pulled my 3 main ideas, and you might have done it a little bit differently in your other essays, but that's the general concept. Again, you can pull main ideas from across different articles. You never have to use all of the articles given. Even when you're in high school, college, or even doing your research for history fair, something like that, you can gather 5, 10, 20 articles and only utilize a couple of them or a handful of them. I know in college you might have to research 10 articles and you might only include 7 or 8 in there, but still reading those articles and learning about what they have to say is going to help you build a stronger essay. So it's good to read all of the articles. Actually, you have to read all the articles. Please read all of the articles, but you don't necessarily have to use them all in your essay. Now, let's go past all of these intros and start with a body paragraph. So this is body paragraph number 1. And it's going to be about the donations instead of birthday gifts. So this is the body paragraph that I'm going to end up throughout these videos writing the whole paragraph. But right now we're just going to look at the topic sentence. So I have a thesis, and I'm actually going to copy and paste the thesis statement down here so that it's easy for us to reference. There we go. So our thesis is ways in which kids can give back to their communities are by collecting donations, building homes, and making lemonade. That should have an and in it. Let's add that up here. And here. Okay. So in body paragraph number 1, let's keep it simple. Kids can give back to their communities in a myriad of ways, just means a variety. You could say variety. One of which is by, and again, I'm just trying to change my sentence structure up here so that it's not repetitive. Giving, and here's where I'm going to elaborate on my main ideas. I just said collecting donations. We know it's donations instead of birthday gifts, so this is where I'm going to elaborate. So I'm going to say giving up there, and don't say your or my. We're going to say there just so it's not informal writing. To keep it formal writing, we're going to say other people or one or things like that. We're going to avoid the I or me or my or anything like that. So that by giving up their birthday presents and asking for donations to a charity instead. Awesome. So I have my main idea about donations to a charity, because we're collecting donations. But I didn't just say what I did up here, donations instead of birthday gifts. I elaborated by giving up their presents and asking for donations to a charity instead. So where are those donations going? Again, if you can ask questions about a sentence, it probably means you should elaborate. Because if I just said, by giving up their birthday presents and asking for donations, well, you're going to ask, well, donations to where? Oh, donations to a charity. And I could specifically say Habitat for Humanity in here, because you might ask, what charity? But I am going to elaborate on that in my body paragraph. So that is one topic sentence, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start each of the 3 body paragraphs so that we can only focus on the topic sentence. So for body paragraph number 2, my main idea is building homes, or even butterfly homes, because my main idea too is building a butterfly house that I took from that 3rd article. So I'm going to this time put my main idea kind of before the prompt, because we know that our topic sentence is our prompt plus our main idea. And then for body paragraph 2, prompt plus main idea 2. Body paragraph 3, I need the prompt and main idea 3. But just like when you add in math, I could have main idea 3 plus prompt. It's still the same equation, right? So I can do that here too. So building homes, and here, just to specify for my reader what kind of homes that I'm building, and say even homes for butterflies, 2 T's. And that is a segment of sentence that needs commas surrounding both sides. It's called a parenthetical thought. Because we could not have it, but we need it in there for extra information. So anytime we put extra information like that in a sentence, we need commas surrounding each side of it. So building homes, even homes for butterflies, is one of the many ways in which kids are able to give back to their communities. Good. And my last main idea 3 is making and selling lemonade to donate funds. So again, I have a thesis. I have already said this 2 ways. I'm going to have to say it another way here about giving kids and communities. And then when I revisit my thesis statement and my conclusion, I'll have to change it up again there as well. So again, I kind of like starting with the main idea here. So making and selling lemonade. And then let's clarify this. Then giving the profits to charity is an excellent way. It's because I said one of the many ways a couple times, so I'm going to change that up and say is an excellent way to put forth the effort into making one's community a better place. So here I kind of had to really up my vocabulary. Instead of are able to, I said to put forth the effort. Again, I was really just looking at these and trying to find unique and new ways to say it, which is exactly what you should do. It's in order to come up with topic sentences that are clear, topic sentences that are not repetitive. Each of these topic sentences has the prompt of communities, and we have it here, and we have it here. So we know we're talking about kids making an impact. I mentioned kids in this one and this one, but by this one, I feel like kids being in it is kind of clear, so I felt that saying kids would have been a little repetitive, so I left it out. But by the third body paragraph, it's very clear what we are talking about, so I think that's okay. And then I talked about my main idea 1. So giving up birthday presents and asking for donations to a charity was main idea 1. Homes for butterflies was main idea 2. And making and selling lemonade and giving profits to charity in that case was main idea 3. So I have my prompt in yellow and my 3 main ideas, and just like it asks for us, our topic sentences are prompt plus main idea or main idea plus prompt. So it can go yellow and then green or green then yellow, prompt and main idea prompt, as long as both elements of that equation are in there in that sentence, you have everything you need in your topic sentence. So that is the end of video 2, topic sentences and main ideas and how to pull them out. Again, you might have to infer. You're going to have to use your creativity within your sentence structures and synonyms and different ways to say things to really wrap this all together to come up with topic sentences that are strong, not repetitive, and very, very clear.